Okay, Brown versus the Board of Education. It was in 1954. I know that much.
Hi everybody. So we're gonna get started.
It was the case that overturned the precedent of Plessy versus Ferguson, and it led to the integration of public schools in the country.
So it's not like you actually go into Did you get a name tag yet? Okay.
It's pretty amazing, the fact that like people went through all this work to get us to where we are now. Like it's mind-numbing, all the work that that they put into it, and that they really cared to show that separate was not equal.
If you look at, like I would look at, in the state of Georgia, separate but equal was very unequal.
All you have to do is just push and ask the people around you who themselves are part of history because they lived through those past times to tell some stories.
Finally somebody has awakened, that separate was equal. Was not even equal. It wasn't fair and it wasn't equal. And we're still paying the penalty today because things aren't equal today.
What we needed was a forum where young people could get back inside their bodies, back inside their own experiences, back inside the wisdom of their own poetry, and connect that to the data that we had available.
We're gonna all sort of stand up in a circle to get started. Okay, welcome everybody to the Art and Social Justice Youth Institute. We are very excited to be here.
So we created this Social Justice and the Arts Institute where we invited 13 young people from an equally diverse array of schools. And we spent the mornings really saturating them in the history of Brown, in law, in organizing, in politics, and in the research they and we had collected.
I know it was a big civil rights issue about segregation, how they have white students in one school and black students in the other.
This is, I guess, sort of the beginning stages of the civil rights movement.
They later found out that black students were not getting the required education as other students of different color. So they went to court. It was a really uphill battle, even though it's kind of happening and now again. Schools are getting segregated. Not on well, I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but you can tell.
I'm fond of saying that I first became a true American citizen on May 17, 1954, which is the date of the Brown case decision, where that umbrella of separate and equal was removed.
The Brown case, which was one of many cases, was a very difficult case because it had to overcome hundreds of years of discrimination.
In my school, even though it's integrated, it's still segregated, like I said.
There's school desegregation cases in Brooklyn. There's school desegregation cases in parts of Queens. There's school desegregation issues within Manhattan.
The black kids stay with the black kids, the white kids stay with the white kids, and in the middle, they kind of mingle, but not very much.
It's like it's the whole thing starting all over again. But hopefully that will change.
And so I say to the student, that's what you have to do today. You have to, in your communities, reach out to all the other oppressed peoples.
I feel that the youth are the future of tomorrow, and the youth's words are gold, and it's the treasure.
We have got to unite together with every group that's oppressed. When we stand that way, we can win.
All right? Come at it from any particular perspective you want. Use any of the statistics you saw today that you want. Like, for instance, there was a statistic about suspensions that showed people of color get suspended more than anybody else.
You're going to start, what if my son is born black and soon, and he's talking, or you're talking to the kid that said, you know, blacks and Latinos are genetically inferior.
I'm good at like analytical papers that they give us in school, like a poem or something like that. I haven't like written in a while too. So it'll be, I think that's one of the things that'll be a little scary, just like adjusting, like, you know, to everything that we're gonna be learning and stuff.
And in addition to that, you all have your own experiences with school, with the world around you, etc., etc.
First write that, right, and then kind of come out of that and start to look at the things that we have in common and look at, you know, like how we all kind of obviously care about ending racism and the importance of success and the importance of life, and then just go from there. All right?
All right? Cool? Everybody cool? I'm gonna give you about 15 minutes with that.
If it's a story or something, I'd like to read it out loud, or if it's a diary entry or something, I'd like to read it out loud. I think if it's heard by somebody, maybe even myself or somebody else, I feel closure. You know, someone else knows or somebody knows.
Now, while this is all for the Art and Social Justice Institute, understand too that the reason they bring you in to do artistic things is because all of this applies to the world outside as well. So do not be afraid to draw from examples that have nothing to do with school, or that just have to do with your personal life, or just have to do with how you feel deep down inside about particular kinds of things. You understand what I'm saying?
We use arts to express ourselves, right? So pretty much when you have social justice, you're just expressing your views on about the world and how society you think it should and should not be. So everything, I always thought everything relates back to art, because that's the only way you can really express yourself, through writing or poetry, and some people drawing and painting, stuff like that. So
that's actually exactly what got me on my, you know, thirst for knowledge, because I, you know, social justice through poetry, you know, and you know, people like Talib Kweli, Mos Def, you know, it's mixing art with you know, knowledge.
All right, open the legs. Same thing. 1, 2. Coming up. 1, 2, and 1, 2, and keep the arms going up until you start to go down. Now.
The dancing, I haven't danced since danced since I was 13, so that's gonna be like, it's gonna be a little scary.
Now hit the knee. So we'll go hit, 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 hit.
I don't have extremely fast muscle memory, so like learning segments of choreography, just not that graceful.
And then you want to punch, and punch, So hold on a second. So instead of it being the same arm as the leg, we'll do the opposite. So the left arm with that right leg. There you go. 5, 6, 7, 8, and right. Yes. And.
I want to do poetry. I really hope I don't have to dance though.
Ready? 6, 7, and right, left, right, step, step, left, right, left, step, step, right. Yes. Ba, ba, So once you get it started, you want it to go into muscle memory. So you're not thinking, because if you keep thinking about it, then you can blank out. Right? But if you lock into the rhythm, 1, 2, 3. So front, back, front. Step, step, front, back, front.
I really just, my body doesn't move like that.
You will with practice. You will with practice. It's hard. Oh, that's all right. There will be many other things that you will have never done before, right? And just a word, can't, I've never done it, will not excuse you from this room. Okay, so I'll entertain it for today, but after that, I don't even want to hear it. Okay? We're just going to work. Ba, ba, ba. Step, 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 5, 6, 7, 8.